Hey guys, it's 12:39 p.m. on November 9th, 2017, and I was on my knees praying, looking out my window, and yes, this is where I normally live, and I noticed this airplane coming over my head, flying over my head, and I was inspired to grab my phone and grab my dog and go outside and make this video for you, and I'm so glad that I did because I want to show you this is a new kind of chemtrail plane. Well, maybe it's not new. Maybe it's been going on for a while, but I just started noticing this in April or May of this year when I was driving home from New Mexico. What I was seeing was the plane just like this. I was literally driving right underneath one, and something about it didn't sit right with me. And as I kept driving, I noticed that even though my iPhone doesn't catch it here, there's a little bit of a trail that goes beyond what's visible here. It's like an iridescent kind of trail. Now what I want to show you is how this thing progresses. You're going to see that another plane comes up from the west here and follows this one, which is still spraying. It's still spraying. What you're going to see in a second is that it's this plane here up at the top of the screen, this is going to stop spraying. So I'm just watching these planes go by, and another one's going to come up from the west. This one's still spraying. Still spraying. And you're going to see here in a second that this was the second one that's coming up there. Still spraying. Still spraying. But in a split second here, I'm going to show you it stops. And then I show you a video of this one. The second one coming. I'll zoom in on this one and explain what's happening here in just a second. But watch as I tilt the camera upwards. Hopefully you saw that, but I'll just rewind it in case you didn't. So look up to the left, see? Up here, this is that plane, it quit spraying. And you can kind of see, I'm going to replay this one more time, and you can kind of see the secondary iridescent trail I'm talking about. I'm going as slow as I can do this without unraveling the phone, but watch up in the left-hand corner here. You see, you can kind of see a little bit of an iridescent trail from this still. You'll be able to see it in real life a lot clearer. But obviously, this plane has quit spraying. Now, obviously, if this was an airplane and its engines cut off, it would soon be falling on top of my head and I wouldn't be making this video, right? But that's not what happened. This airplane continues to fly. And so does the one below it, which I'm going to show you here in a second as I zoom in on it to explain to you what's actually happening here. So this one comes over my head. I'm going to show you that video. Now this is with the second plane there over my head. Now this gives me a good chance to explain to you what's going on and how you can tell. This contrail, condensation trail, literally, even though it's filled with chemicals, it's still a condensation trail. This condensation trail filled with chemicals trails a little too long, okay? But the best way to tell is that this condensation trail starts right at the end of the plane. A typical condensation trail that's just normal water from the ice crystals, the normal kind, they start about 2 to 3 plane lengths behind the plane. So you don't see the condensation trail go right up to the back of the plane, but that's what we're seeing here. Now I want you to notice how totally clear the skies are here, okay? I had no idea how quickly this was going to happen. So I grabbed the dog and I stopped recording. I go inside the house, I look out the window, and the sky has suddenly got a cloud line on the horizon that was remarkable. So I set my phone down and I let it record for the next 25 minutes or so. And now watch what happens. Obviously, I'm zooming this forward fast so you guys can see it. But look how fast this cloud line arrives. It's unbelievable. I mean, it's just shocking. In a matter of 30 minutes from me being on my knees looking at a clear sky to this, and now it's completely cloudy outside, completely. So it looks like it could actually rain any minute. So literally, this is a new kind of chemtrail. Well, let's put it this way. It's a kind of chemtrail that we're not used to watching. And they're remarkably quick. The particulate dissipates super fast, so we don't notice it. But it really, well, what I noticed on my way home from Arizona was that after these things would pass by within about 30 minutes or so, I would be hacking. I would be coughing so hard I could barely breathe. You guys, I actually got a respirator mask to put on so I could breathe better because the inhaler that I had wasn't working. So I literally, I have a respirator mask by me all the time because when this stuff happens, I literally can't breathe. My nose starts running, my eyes start tearing, and I used to have asthma as a kid. I know asthma, it doesn't have, you don't get a runny nose with asthma, and you don't get watery eyes with asthma. I know I used to have it when I was little. But but yeah, it's terrible. What happens is it makes my nose just, I can't breathe. I just like everything just gets congested super quick, and so I put the respirator mask on for about half an hour and I'm fine. I can take it off and then I'm good. But it's awful when it happens. It's really awful. And plus, another thing, just to make a note of this for you guys who are looking to gauge symptoms, when I brought the dog in, she started drinking water like crazy. And I noticed that that happens a lot. When the frequencies are really, really high, the dogs get super, super thirsty. And I've heard people talk about symptoms like their body temperature will raise super quickly. Yeah, that's what happens. I mean, it didn't happen. The temperature thing didn't happen to me today, and I didn't get congested yet. I mean, I don't know what's going to happen later, but the dog did. The dog just went crazy drinking. It's so it really it bothers the animals. It has problems for us, and visibly. I mean, look what it does to our sky. These things are crazy, and it's insidious because we don't notice. We don't notice if we're not paying attention, this will just pass us by and we won't even know what happened. It's literally like we won't know what hit us. So that's why I praise God for letting me see this while I was literally praying. And look what he showed me so I could show you guys that this stuff just comes out of nowhere and zaps us. It's the new style.